Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of RobertoBlake.com helping you create something awesome today. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about some things and my advice for younger YouTubers. And even if you don't consider yourself a younger YouTuber, you may want to stay tuned because it's possible you might be making some of these same mistakes or assumptions about how YouTube works, and this might be helpful for you. So one of the things that I see a lot from young YouTubers that I think needs to be addressed is the idea of what a YouTuber is and the idea of being a big YouTuber. Now, a lot of people start out with YouTube for completely altruistic reasons. They want to put out really good content, they want to do something that's interesting and just share it. But then there are other people who want to become internet famous. And I think that this is a part of the culture of young people today, and that in the same way that other people would have wanted to be a movie star or a celebrity, that for them, being a bigger YouTuber is that aspirational goal of being famous in what their culture is. And I get it, but the thing is, it's an unreasonable goal to have in many cases because one, most people are not going to be successful at it because partly, if that's your goal and your mentality, then you're not putting out content that other people are going to value, that other people are going to be interested in, that other people are going to care about, and you're really just not going to grow a big audience. If you're not doing something that's interesting or entertaining or inspiring or that's educating other people and doing it constantly, consistently, and with high production values, the reality is you're not going to grow a lot of subscribers. Regardless of how much effort you put in, you're just not going to get that traction. That's why there are some people on YouTube who've been on YouTube for years and years and years and years, and it didn't really go anywhere for them, or they didn't get a large number of subscribers, or they didn't get any subscribers or views to their channel, is because they had purely self-motivated, selfish reasons for doing their content. And I'm not saying that you can't do content that you're interested in or that you can't vlog and talk about yourself and your life. I'm saying that you have to do it in a way that is going to create some kind of value for other people. And if you don't get that, it's going to be very hard for you to be successful in the YouTube space, and you're going to take a lot of criticism, or you're just not going to grow your channel. That's just the way it is. If you look at the successful YouTubers, whether they're big or whether they're doing it for a living or whether they're doing it full time, if you look at all of them, you will see a consistent pattern of high production values, interesting personalities, interesting content, consistent quality content. You'll see that that is the trend for those larger successful YouTubers. The other thing is a lot of young YouTubers get discouraged and they give up because they don't see their numbers growing. They might be producing great content, but they may not be doing some other technical or marketing things well, and they're giving up very early instead of just putting out quality content, and then learning and growing from that experience. They get discouraged and they give up in 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, a year, instead of sticking it out and learning and going deeper and growing and asking for advice. They just give up. I've produced a ton of videos that gives practical, actionable advice that I use to help me grow the 30,000 plus subscribers that I have of the making of this video, and also build YouTube into part of my business. I do not make a living off of YouTube. I make a living as a graphic designer and a consultant. I make a living doing a lot of different things, but YouTube is part of my marketing strategy for those things, and also a great creative outlet, and lets me engage with people in my audience, convert some of them to clients and customers. So YouTube has a lot of value for me in that way, but make no mistake, it's very hard to make a living off of YouTube, and if that's your goal, I have a video that talks about at least 6 or 7 other things you need to do outside of YouTube to make money if you want to actually accomplish the goal of making a living on it. The other thing that I see young YouTubers doing wrong, and even some older YouTubers too, is there's 2 really big things that they're absolutely doing wrong that is really hurting their channel and hurting their credibility in the YouTube space, and that is the sub-for-sub culture, and that is also asking for shoutouts with people you don't have a relationship with. So I did a whole video on why sub-for-sub is bad, but the technical reasons behind it that young YouTubers don't get because they not be super techie yet is that YouTube is a search engine, sub-for-sub is something they know and consider cheating, and it's hurting your channel, and they're ranking you down for it. So you guys might think that your sub-for-sub community and your sub-for-sub culture is you guys helping each other out, but what you're really doing is telling YouTube to ignore you, because programmers are super smart. they're onto that game and they're going to punish you. So you need to stop doing that if that's what you're doing now, and do a whole other video about it. As for the requesting shoutouts things, there's not a technical thing about that. That's a politeness thing. That's you approaching strangers that you've never had a conversation with and then asking them to do something for you without you having done something first. Built a relationship, comment with them, talk to them, go deep with them in social media. If you're not building a relationship, you're not doing for these things, then you're asking people to tell their audience about you, and their audience may not like your content at all. So if they did it and then their audience is a different audience than yours, they go to your stuff and they don't like it and they hate it, you're opening yourself up to all that scrutiny and all of that negativity and all those bad comments and all of those dislikes, and it's going to hurt your feelings. And it's because you didn't take the time to figure out whether this person's audience matches your audience, whether this person's audience would like your content, whether your content creates value for them. And some of you might think that's harsh. You're saying, oh, well, you're saying my content has no value. For those people, if someone's watching videos about YouTube marketing and you're doing videos about gaming, there's a good chance that they may not like those videos or may not care about those videos. So no, you're not creating value for them. If you're a YouTuber who's doing television show reviews and you ask someone for a shout out and you're doing beauty blogging, they may not be interested in that. If it's not a television show that has a large female audience, there's a chance they won't be interested in that. So if you're asking people from like this sci-fi movie reviewer guy to go to your beauty blogging channel, then that shout out may not work the way that you think it will. And again, you're opening yourself up to negativity and to haters when you could have just thought about it like a human being and thought about, gee, if I'm going to ask someone else to shout me out, maybe I need to start commenting on their videos, and maybe it needs to be somebody who does similar videos to me, and maybe that would be helpful. So these are the things that I see a lot of young YouTubers making mistakes with. They are too impatient to put in the time and the work to really grow their audience and build their channel. They are getting into messed up things like sub4Sub culture and asking the wrong people in the wrong way for shoutouts on videos. Not making enough content, not realizing it takes time to build an audience and giving up too soon. All these things are things that I think are really hurting young YouTubers in the space and are making them either get discouraged or look bad or draw the wrong kind of attention or negativity. And I think that if you pay attention to what other people are doing successfully, and maybe if you watch some of the stuff in my playlist as far as how to grow your YouTube channel the right way, or if you don't want to watch my stuff, maybe you watch something like Steve Dotto's information, or maybe you watch Daryl Eves' information. Any number of people, or the YouTube Creator Academy, any number of people have put out great content to help you understand how to grow your YouTube channel the right way. And I don't feel that just because you're young means that you have to go about it the wrong way and make all these mistakes and just say, oh, well, I'll figure it out later. I know a lot of young people in YouTube that are doing most of this right. And I would say that, and give a shout out to someone who I think is doing it right, is Joshua Choppy. His channel is growing incrementally, little by little, but he's also doing the right things with his channel. And I have a lot of respect for him as somebody who's a 9th grader that I feel for his age is crushing it in YouTube. He may not have a huge following, but he has a loyal following, and I feel like he's doing the right things, putting out quality content for what he's capable of, and reaching an audience that cares about his content. Anyway, I hope this information helped you guys out. I hope some of you don't feel overwhelmingly discouraged or have hurt feelings over it. I'm trying to help you understand what you might be doing wrong and what's keeping you from having the success that you actually want. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome content on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today.